everyone. Welcome to the Make Life Matter podcast. I'm your host, Angela Donadio, Bible study author, adventure junkie, and founder of Voice of the Voiceless, empowering women in Africa. Join me here every week for inspiring conversations on discovering miracles in life's messy moments. Here's this week's episode. Hey everyone, we have officially started the summer, and after a long, hard year, I know for one, I am ready and I am so excited to step into the new that God has for us. This has been a hard year for so many of us. We feel weary or we feel discouraged, but at the same time, we feel excited and expectant about what is ahead for each one of us. And I want to thank you for joining our conversation on the Make Life Matter podcast. Guys, I am so grateful for you. This podcast has reached nearly 60,000 downloads in 130 countries. We just finished season 2 and it was extraordinary. Guests that challenged us, inspired us, encouraged us. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to all of season 2, take the podcast along with you this summer, maybe on a road trip, or maybe just listening on your way on your morning commute, or just grab your headphones and listen at the pool while the kids are playing. Wherever you listen, I'm praying that God meets you in such a profound way, that you see ways to discover His hand in your life, and that you see and discover miracles, even in life's messy moments. That's what so many of us helped us to do as we listened to these episodes throughout season 2. I had the privilege of sitting down with guests like Jennifer Rothschild, Charlotte Gamble, Holly Girth, Holly Christine Hayes, Hal Donaldson, Jody Dietrich, Tracy Miles, Abby Johnson, Candace Payne. Guys, it just goes on and on. I'm so honored. Tamron Clintworth, Dr. Steve Green, Gracia Burnham, James Davis, Scott McNamara. If you have not listened to these episodes, these are just a handful of what is available for you in season 2. And did you know you can watch many of the episodes on YouTube? Just head over to Angela Donadio on YouTube, where you can find full episodes, powerful clips, encouraging devotions, music, and more. I would love for you to follow me on social media on Facebook at Angela Donadio VOV, which stands for Voice of the Voiceless. That's my nonprofit that empowers and equips women in rural parts of Africa. Or you can find me on Instagram at Angela Donadio, where I'll be posting some of my favorite moments from season 2 in video clips every Wednesday during the summer. Season 3 launches in August and it's going to be extraordinary. But during the summer months, I'll be posting a new episode every Monday during the months of June and July as a part of my summer story series. I love a good story and I hope you do too. So I'm sharing some of my favorite stories from my most recent book, Astounded, Encountering God in Everyday Moments. 52 devotions filled with heartfelt stories, humor, and hope. I had the joy of narrating the audiobook, so I wanted you to experience excerpts right here on the podcast. These short devotions will help you learn how God can use even the worst of circumstances to bring out the best in us. It will help us to laugh at life's unpredictable moments while we apply the Bible to our everyday lives, and we can look for opportunities to make moments matter no matter what. You can listen to the entire audiobook on Amazon, or you can read it on Kindle, or pick up an autographed copy at angeladonadio.com. Some days, real life is more outrageous than fiction, but sometimes everyday moments are unexpected miracles. Enjoy this week's episode in our Summer Story series and live astounded. Deliver kindness curbside. Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life, righteousness, and honor. Proverbs 21, verse 21. What year is your Cadillac? He asked curiously. I'm not really sure. Would you believe it was a gift? I said politely, albeit preoccupied while attempting to place my sandwich order in a line at Subway. Undeterred, he continued, well, next year they're coming out with flashers. Silence.
Flashers like the ones you don't have on right now? His words hung in the air somewhere between, sure, I'd like that toasted and add extra mayo. In that split second, I realized he wasn't interested in my car. He was annoyed. These 3 senior citizens had to walk around your car parked there on the curb and step up because you're blocking the entrance. The 3 senior citizens he was referring to were himself and 2 ladies looking graciously uncomfortable. I frequent the subway just a half-mile down from the church where I work countless times, not once parking by the door. But that day, I dashed in to grab a sandwich so I could get back to finish a project. Phone in one hand and wallet in the other. I was a woman on a mission and, well, the curb just seemed a whole lot quicker than a parking space. I felt my face flush and my mind race to a myriad of responses, ranging from slightly dismissive to annoyed right back at you guy. And then I thought of my parents. They drove halfway across the country to spend 6 days to take in the sights and sounds of Washington, D.C., and cram in a flurry of family festivities. They poured their time and talents into a night of music to bless our church. They traversed steps and stores. And when, on a whim, I got us tickets to the Washington Nationals game, my dad walked around the entire stadium to park the car. Somehow, all of that squeezed into that split second following his mild but intentional public scolding. And instead of opting for curt, I was kind. And let me tell you something, reaching for kindness was the best moment of my day. I'm chagrined to admit that far too many times my drive and deadlines steamroll right over kindness. Reaching for kindness takes a whole lot of strength and self-control. It also takes something that is painfully disappearing from our culture, honor. Honor is defined as a tangible symbol signifying approval or distinction. Honor acts. Oh my goodness, I responded, gently putting my hand on one of the woman's shoulders. I'm so sorry. I was rushing from work and just didn't even think of how inconsiderate that was. My parents are in their 70s, and I sure wouldn't want someone to do that to them. Oh, it's okay, he said, his face softening. Just don't do it again, he reprimanded, with a twinkle in his eye. Ouch. But I resolved to let honor win. Kindness was going to win. I sure won't, I smiled back. I moved to the cashier and spoke in hushed tones. Have they finished their order? No, she whispered back. Please add their order to mine. On the way out, I patted the man on the back and said quietly, lunch is on me today. It's the least I can do, and I hope it's what someone would do for my parents. For a moment, I think he was mortified, and then a wave of appreciation washed over his face. He pulled me aside and gave me a hug. Oh, thank you. You sure didn't need to do that. But please know that these 3 travelers from West Virginia sure are thankful. We create a culture of honor when we refuse to argue and resolve to elevate. We don't have to agree with someone to honor them. Reach for kindness one small decision at a time. Oh, and don't park on the curb. Astounded, Angela.
Thank you so much for joining our conversation. Season 2 is sponsored in part by Worley, Dahlberg, Yao, PLLC. You can learn more about this award-winning law firm at lawfirmvirginia.com. I'd love to stay connected, so be sure to visit angeladonadio.com for books, free goodies, and opportunities to feature your ministry or business as a sponsor. Find me on Facebook at Angela Donadio VOV and Instagram at Angela Donadio, where we do podcast giveaways each month. If you've been inspired to make life matter, share a review and subscribe at iTunes, cpnshows.com, or anywhere you listen to podcasts so you don't miss an episode. Until next week, let's make life matter.